I'm very excited to show you guys how to crochet this scarf. I just want you to know this belongs to a collection. There are 15 pixographs in this collection. I'll be making 2 of them, and this is according to your votes and comments in my recent post. The first one is this, chili pepper, which is my personal favorite, and the other one will be cherries, which is gonna come out soon. The rest graphs are available in my Etsy store. For the 5 winners from last week's giveaway, please check the description box below. Alright, let's have a look at the materials. As you can see, I have 6 colors here. So in order for me to give clear instructions later, I'm gonna name them. That's white, black, and that I'm gonna call it bright red or red 1. That's dark red, red 2. Yeah, it doesn't really have a name for the color, it just has the color number. So red 1, red 2. That's green 1, which is the brighter green, and green 2, which is the dark green. So that's for the color arrangement. You also want to make sure you're using the same or similar weight yarn. As you can see, these are 8 ply, 8, 8, 8, 8. That's 12, which is okay. It's really not too big a difference. These 8 ply yarns called for a 4mm crochet hook, but we're going to be using Tapestry crochet to make the scarf. So that means we're going to be carrying multiple threads at the same time. So I'm going to size up to 4.5mm. And as to how many yarns you're going to need, for these colors, you probably just need 1 ball each. But because this scarf is mostly black, you probably need 2 or 3. So now we need to look at the pixel graph, and from left to right is 50 stitches. Because we have 50 squares, that means we'll have 50 stitches each row. But before we begin the pattern from row 1 of the pattern, we're going to work 5 more rows at the very beginning of the scarf. But it's still 50 stitches each row. So I'm going to make a slip knot. And chain 50. That's how many stitches we have across from left to right. So this is 50 chains. This is how wide the scarf is gonna be, because I actually wanted my scarf to be pretty wide. That's why I drew more pixels in the row. So after 50 chains, I'm gonna chain 1 to turn. Then you find the second stitch from the hook, 1, 2, and turn your work, find its back loop. Insert your hook in that back loop. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your first single crochet. I'm going to mark this stitch. So from the next stitch, in the back loop, I'm just going to work 1 single crochet in each chain. So insert your hook in the next stitch back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so just continue working this all the way to the end of the row. I'm going to go a little faster before the color changing section, because that's the main thing I want to show you. So this is the last stitch. I'm going to work 1 more single crochet in that stitch, and then chain 1 to begin the next row. Turn your work from the first stitch, insert my hook and work a single crochet again, and then just work 1 single crochet in each stitch. All the way to the end of the row, to the last stitch, which is marked. And when you finish this row, chain 1 and turn again. So I'm just starting row 2. I'm going to go ahead and finish the first 5 rows like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from the next row, the pattern begins, beginning from row 1 in the graph. So go ahead and download the pattern, and then you can see the first 9 rows is just all black. So that means we're going to work 9 more rows in black. So chain 1, turn, and from the first stitch, begin working your single crochets. So like I said, we first did 5 rows regardless of which pixel graph you're using, and then we begin the pattern, the pixel pattern, from the next row. This is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now I'm beginning row 10 of the pixel graph. So as you can see, the color change begins here from row 10. And for row 10, I'm going to begin from right to left because that's in the same direction as our work. So looking at the bottom numbers, I know the first 26 stitches is in black. So I'm going to do my first 25 stitches because the color change happens at 26. So I just finished number 25. Number 26 is black. 27 is dark red. I'm going to call it red 2. So I got red 2 ready. This is 25. 26 is still in black. So I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop. 27 is red 2. So that means I'm going to change color here. So change color 1 stitch earlier. So I'm going to grab this color and just yarn over and pull it through. And then we have a look at the graph. We have 9 red here. So when we're working red 2, I'm going to carry black with me. So work this one, but carry the other one, because we're going to be using black after these 9 stitches. And this tail, I'm going to carry it with me as well, but for a different reason. We carry the black because we're going to be using it later. We wrap this one in the work because we want to fasten it off. So I'm going to pick up the red and carry the other 2 colors. The next stitch is 27 is in red, so I'm going to insert my hook, and to carry your thread, you just put them on your hook like this. Yarn over, pull up a loop, work a single crochet. And then the next stitch is red as well. Carry the 2 tails, second single crochet. So like I said before, we changed color 1 stitch earlier. So we can see in the graph we have 9 reds here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next stitch is red as well, but the one after it is black. The next stitch, this stitch is in a different color, so we change color here. So I'm gonna insert my hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, still carrying the 2 tails, pull up a loop, and then we change. I'm going to drop this color and just pick up the black. And as you're working 2 or more colors, make sure your yarns at the back don't tangle. So basically you just keep your color in the same place. So red will come from left and black will come from right. So when I pick up the black, I'm gonna make sure it doesn't tangle here. It can twist a little bit here, it wouldn't matter, but not at the back around here. So I just pick it up and just yarn over and finish this single crochet. Okay, next we can see the red is not gonna show up again in this row. So when the color is not gonna show up in the first row, we're going to bring the color to the front. I'm still going to carry this one because I want to wrap it in the work like I said before, but this thread I'm gonna bring it to the front. And then I work the next stitch, which is in black. And from here I can finish this row because it's just in black color. So I'm gonna finish this row and begin the next row. I'll see you around here. Okay, so row 10 begins from right. Row 11 will begin from the left like this. The first 12 stitches are in black. So that means I'm going to change color at 12. So this is 11, that's 12, which is where I'm going to change color, but this stitch is still in black, so I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop, and then change color. The next 3 stitches is in red 2, which is this one. You can see we dropped the color here, but that's okay, we just need this color a little earlier. So what I'm going to do is just drag this tail here and yarn over, finish this single crochet. Tighten the black, but make sure the red is not too tight. Otherwise it will pull the stitches together like this. So like I said, the next 3 is in red 2. So I'm going to insert my hook and I'm going to make sure the 2 tails is on my hook. The one we just dragged here and the black. Wrap these in the work. And this dark red is the working yarn. So pull up a loop, work 1 stitch, next stitch, carry the other 2, and that's the second and the third. But after 3 red 2, we have 9 red 1, which is the brighter red. So that means I'm going to change color again, add in a new color and change color here. So get my red 1 ready, and this stitch is still in red 2, so insert my hook, carry the other 2, pull up a loop, and change color. The next stitch is in red 1, so I'm just going to yarn over and pull up like that. Okay, so the next stitch is in red 1. I'm actually gonna drop this new tail because there are already too many red color here. I'm gonna drop it now and just use a yarn needle to weave it in later. And we need the black because it's gonna show up later. And we also need red 2 because after 9 stitches of red 1, we have 3 stitches of red 2. So that means I'm going to carry both colors, insert my hook, carry both, work a single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next stitch is still in this color, so I'm going to pull up a loop. The next stitch is in red 2. So drop this red and pick up the other. Make sure they don't tangle. Yarn over, finish this stitch. Okay, then don't forget the color we're not gonna need anymore in this row. Bring it to the front, which is red 1. It's here. So I'm going to bring it to the front, leave it here, and carry black because we're going to need it. Work 3 stitches in this. This is red 2. 1, 2, and 3. Change color because the next stitch is in black. Pull up a loop, drop red, pick up black, and change. Red's not going to show up anymore in this row. Bring it to the front and use black to complete this row. This is row 12 that I'm working on. For row 12, we begin from the right. So the first 22 stitches is in black. 10, 15, so this is 20, 21, 22 is in black, but we need to change color for 23, which is red 2. So pull up a loop, we need the darker red, and yarn over, pull through 2. Tighten the stitch, insert your hook, carry both threads, pull up a loop, and 24, 25, 26 is in red 1, so we need to change color again. Drop red 2 and pick up red 1, and we need to drag it all the way here, which is like 3 stitches away. So yarn over and pull through. Tighten the stitch. Okay, then let's have a look at the pattern. What's gonna show up, what's not gonna. So it looks like we're gonna be needing both red later. So that means I'm not gonna drop any of them. I'm gonna work the next 3 stitches here in red 1. So insert my hook in the next stitch, carry all the colors, and make a single crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 in red 1. The next stitch is in white. As you can see, we have 9 stitches in white here. I'm gonna get my white ready and use it to finish this stitch. Again, that's too many threads here, so I'm gonna leave this here and weave it in later. All 3 colors is gonna show up after the white, so we need to carry all of it. I'm just making sure the other side look nice and neat as well. So 1, 2, 3, 8. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 9 is still white, but the next color is, this is red 1, the brighter one. So drop white and pick up red 1, which is this one, and finish this stitch. And don't forget to bring white to the front because we're not going to be using it anymore in this row. So the next stitch is in this one. So just pick it up. Work 3 stitches in this color. 1, 2, and 3. The next stitch, the next color is red 2. Drop red 1, pick up red 2, and finish this stitch. Okay, red 1 is done for this row. Bring it to the front and do 2 stitches in red 2, carrying black. 1, 2, change color at the second one, pick up black, finish this stitch. We're done with this red as well. Bring it to the front and finish this row. Okay, so row 13 begins from the left. The first 9 stitches is in black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the next stitch is red 2. So use that color to finish the stitch. Work the next stitch in this color, carrying black. And then we need to change color again because the next stitch is red 1. So drop this one, pick up red 1, and finish this stitch. 2 stitches in red 1. Next stitch is in white. Pick up white. Finish this stitch. Work 3 stitches in white. So next we have 9 stitches in red 1. Number 9. Change color, change to white. And still we're carrying all 3 other colors. Work 3 white. The next stitch is red 1. Finish this stitch. And we're done with white for this row. So bring it to the front. And work 1 stitch in red 2, carrying the other 2 color. Next stitch to red 2. Finish this stitch. Red one is done as well. Bring it to the front. And 2 stitches in red 2. Changing color at the second one. Bring red to the front. And continue with black. So row 14 begins from the right. The first 19 stitches of row 14 is in black. And then 1 in red 2. 2 in red 1. And the next stitch is white. So from here, you should be able to finish the pattern yourself. The only thing we haven't talked about is how to fasten off a color when it's finished in the whole pattern. So like I said, you should be able to finish this by yourself. For this black area here, Normally we would carry the white and 2 red colors across when we are working these black stitches. So that's the normal way you can do that. But I'm gonna try something different. The main reason is because I don't want to hide white color in black. I feel it's gonna be really obvious. So what I'm gonna do is work this and this separately. So for example, I have this white color, the thread's gonna go like this. All the way up here, it will have nothing to do with what's in here. And the same for the other 2 red colors as well. So that means I would have no colors going through the blacks. So I'm gonna do 2 or 3 rows like that on camera, but because this is optional, you don't have to separate them. I'm just gonna show you quickly. So as you can see, this is what I meant. The black yarn goes across the row, but for the other colors, they just stay here. It doesn't cross this black area here. And when the same color shows up again here, you just rejoin the yarn. So these threads will go like that, and these will stay on this side. They're never going to cross this black area in the middle. Definitely more threads to work with. If you can handle it, do it, because it's going to look really nice. But if you just want to do something simple, like I said, this is just optional. You don't have to cut the yarn here. You can just carry all the color across the row. When the color stops showing up for the whole row, then you drop it. There's one more technique we haven't covered because it hasn't showed up until now. So as you can see, the beginning of row 17 is 7 stitches in black. So like this. This is number 5, and let me work 6 and 7. 7 is black as well, but look where the red yarn is. If I continue working my stitches, say the next 2 stitches are black as well. Then you can see we left all these threads at the back. We didn't carry them. And later when we want to use it, it's all the way here. So just like before, if the thread is here and we need it here, we just drag it all the way here. But if the thread shows up earlier, before we even need to work it, we need to carry the thread with us until we need to work a stitch in that color. So that means for number 7, when I insert my hook, I need to carry this red color. So I insert my hook and make sure this color is on the hook. And that's how we carry it. And then pull through. And now you can see it's wrapped in the work. And then you can work your next stitch and just continue from there. At the beginning of row 19 is the same thing. We have 20 stitches in black at the beginning. So even if these stitches are all black, we need to carry this red color. So now I'm working on row 24. And after 10 stitches in black, the first color is the dark green. So we've done this before, but I just want to make sure you're doing this right. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, and join the color. The next stitch is in this color. And then the next stitch is in green 1, which is the bright green. And finish this stitch. The next stitch is in this color, but we don't need the dark green. So bring it to the front. And then work the next stitch in this color. Next stitch white. We don't need this anymore. Bring it to the front. Next stitch white. Because I've been working this and this separately, so for me the white color is finished, so I'm going to bring it to the front. But if you didn't do that, you still have white color coming up, so you just leave it to the back and carry it. But for me, I need to bring it to the front. Next stitch red 1. Work 1 stitch in red 1, bring it to the front. Red 2. And in this color 1 stitch. Again, I'll need to bring them to the front. So now that I got you started, I'm going to go ahead and finish row 26 and 27. So I finished 26 and 27, and this is the beginning of row 28. So because I've been working these 2 red sections separately, now I need to join them together, meaning I need to use one side of the threads. I don't need 2 threads of the same color. So I'm going to use these and fasten off these. Because we have so many threads, I'm just going to simply cut the yarn and weave them in later. And because we're going to fasten them off later, we don't need to carry them anymore. Actually, I need to work 1 more stitch in white. And then the next one is this. Drag it all the way here. And continue working. This is row 37. So to fasten off a color, there are two ways you can do this, which we've covered already. But just to recap, you work to your last stitch in this color, then you can carry this tail for a few stitches and then cut your yarn. Or you can just work to your last stitch, cut your yarn, and fasten this off later with a yarn needle. So when you finish the color pattern, from the next row, you can just begin to work single crochets in black. So as you can see, this pattern ends at row 44. So that means we still have 7 rows left that's worked in black. So after row 37, I worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows in black, and the pattern ends here. So after you finish the last row of the pattern, you're gonna do 20 more rows in black. So that's 10 and 10 again. And from the next row, the pattern begins again. And we've covered at the very beginning, the first 9 rows in the pattern is in black. So these are the 9 rows. And then from row 10, I'm going to begin my first row of the color work. So we begin with 5 rows. Do the pattern from row 1 to row 44. Work 20 rows. Do the pattern again. And from there, we just alternate between those two. So 20 rows, 44 row pattern, 20 rows, 44 row pattern. So I repeated the chili pepper 6 times, but you can keep adding more if you want your scarf to be longer. But after I finished the graph one last time with 7 rows of black at the end, I did 5 more rows at the very end of the scarf. Then I just chain 1, cut the yarn and pull through. Then use a needle to weave it in the stitches. Then the scarf is done.